Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello and welcome to episode 133. Oh shit, 134 of the Film Blurs. I am Jeff Stewart, aka Uncle Jeffrey, aka J.O.T's Dynamite, Praetorian Jeff, Revengeman Button, He Who Remains, Petty Ruxpin, Jobu Tupaki, Little Tom, Black Giovanna Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
Hi, you fucking ball bags. It's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe, Kanye, and Drake's kids. Guess what? Drake is now a gimp in my basement.
A full-on gimp?
Yeah.
With
People
mask and all?
People pay me now for that, so I'm making double money off of Drake. Started from the now you really a bottom. You should see how many women run in there with strap-ons.
Coming in hot this morning.
AKA Papi Chulo, still sticking Molly up all the women in your life's butt and eating all your jello, and then I peed in your sink. AKA the Glizzy King, aka Mr. Krusty. Sweet Krusty Gooch, aka the Lethal Protector, aka Ezekiel Sims. Bad ADR, my mouth does not match the words, aka it's Morbin time, aka my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other, aka I want a Subaru Outback with masked strippers in the back giving shake-ups, aka Rough McGruff, aka D's Nuts, and aka B Wood, the Mob D, call me your Messiah. Alright, so I want to get into some fucking real sad news. Dame Maggie Smith just passed away an hour ago.
It just hit my news feed.
She's a legend. I remember seeing, before I had the concept of movie stars, I knew her just because she was in a lot of shit I would watch growing up. And then, I guess a lot of people would know her as Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter series. But she's a legend. She's been around for a long time, and God bless her. She was 93 or 94. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes in threes. So we had James Earl Jones.
Right.
Now we have Maggie Smith.
Right.
Has someone checked on Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, who else is super old?
Like rest in power. Her career is storied. Everybody has seen her in something.
Right. Ooh, my bad. Yeah, I agree. You've seen her in something. Rest in peace. Like there will never be another legend like her, because even at 94, her most recent work has been Downton Abbey, both the show and the movies, because there's 2 movies. There's going to be a 3rd movie coming out. Yeah, I mean, she's been part of so much. So you probably seen her in something. Guarantee it.
Right. I mean, she will be missed.
Right. Let's move on to this last bit of news I want to talk about, because I sent this to Jeff like a couple of weeks ago. Warner Brothers wanted to send Beetlejuice straight to Max, and Tim Burton's like, no, fuck you. We're not doing this. The budget was $148 million. Pam Abdi and what's the other guy's name?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick. But they were appointed the heads of Warner Brothers because they've ran studios before and they're known. Michael DeLucia, they're known for like making, you know, great films. Like Michael DeLucia, Boogie Nights wouldn't exist without him. Lord of Rings
Right.
would not exist without him. Um, Pamela Abdi, she did a lot of good work at Sony Pictures. So the fact that these two are the heads of Warner Brothers motion picture group, and they're the ones who oversee all the movies. Zavlov, when he was gutting TCM, they came in and saved Turner Classic Movies. Well, Zavlov straight up said, like, yeah, I don't see the point of this. This is going to Max and it's too expensive. And Tim Burton is like, what the fuck? No, he's like, all right, well, I guess the movie's not gonna be made then. Pam and Michael had to pull Tim aside and be like, yo, listen, we're on your side. This is our first movie under this banner that we are helping shepherd and put in the theaters. Uh, to get this movie into theaters, you have to cut the budget. So Tim Burton got it down from 148 to 100. And the way he did that was him, Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, and I think Jenna. They all took cuts and took back end deals.
All right. I mean, good for them for all sticking together and believing in the film. I don't believe that the extra $40 million would have made a difference in
Yeah,
this.
I don't either. But also, my thing is, Beetlejuice overperformed, right? The first one
Right.
that
Right.
came out in April of like 1980. It was like
Right.
1986. That motherfucker cost 17 million, which in today's money was 50, and it made like 120, which I googled today, and that was close to 400 million. So like it's not like the original was some fucking brick. Like people know Beetlejuice. It
Right.
was a video game I played, animated series which I recently rewatched on Tubi. Uh yeah,
A
a
play.
play that's still
Yep.
popular. Like I remember right before the pandemic, everybody and their mom was running to go see that shit. Um,
And it's a staple at Hot
yeah,
Topic.
man. Like,
You know,
yo,
it's like
like you. This is what happens when you have a dude who's all about the dollar running your studio. Because now Beetlejuice is getting close to hitting 250 domestically, and worldwide it is currently at, I want to say, 350. Like it's gonna end its worldwide run at like 450.
which is, I mean, it's fan fucking tastic for a movie that's not that good,
I don't hate it. I
right?
don't love
You
it. I
know,
don't hate it. But like, look, people
it's
people
there.
like it,
It's
and like I'm saying, at what point is somebody gonna step in and fucking tell Zavlov like, yo, just worry about Discovery and let everybody else worry about the movies.
right, right. Because I mean, as much as I hated the last Space Jam, it showed that Warner Brothers has a fucking stable of IP and property that people love and will pay money for,
Yes, yes.
right? They just have to produce it right, put it out the right way, and honestly just care about it,
Um,
you know?
Speaking of, let's do this transition to this other piece of news because I forgot about this till you just talked about Space Jam and Algae Rhythm. Uh, Lionsgate, they're having a real rough year. And this is going to be a Lionsgate heavy episode because I've seen 3 Lionsgate's movies this week. They put out a trailer. Uh, they announced last week that they are going to start relying on AI to help them greenlight movies and also bring back some of their beloved franchises.
Nope. Fuck that
What
noise
do you want me to say?
hard.
Like,
Uh,
are you surprised?
I am surprised that Lionsgate is doing this. This seems like a Zavlov move. This seems like a bigger studio move. Here's the thing, Lionsgate. Um, it is going to literally destroy what little fucking respect, clout, whatever you have. You are allowing a fucking computer to greenlight your films. You are now making product. All right, you are the
I
fucking
mean,
you might as well be making Doritos at this point.
they were. I mean, who in their right mind would spend 10 years in pre-production on a fucking remake nobody wanted? Borderlands, ill-conceived from the jump. Like, I feel like Borderlands probably should have came out when that was popping back in 2009. I mean,
Right,
y'all trying to
right.
crank out all these John Wick movies. Hunger Games is coming back. Twilight, I heard, is going to be a TV show now. Y'all still didn't finish Divergent. Y'all made the dumbass
I'm
mistake
just waiting.
of splitting that last book into two movies when the first two didn't even make that much money. And we're all like, why the fuck would you do that? And because they didn't make any money, y'all lost so much money on the third one, y'all still haven't made the last movie. So that's a whole ass movie series with huge stars that's just unfinished. Yes, yes. Yes, because I remember they were
And who
like,
have
yo, we're gonna
aged
make
out,
the last
right?
movie a
Like who have
TV
aged
show.
out.
And then the TV, so the first season will be uh the wrap up to the story, and then season 2 will be everything on with and the main characters will be supporting, and we're gonna follow a new cast of characters. And then Shailene Woodley, Theo James, and the whole entire cast was like, yeah, we signed up to do movies, not a fucking show. So like either finish this as a movie or we're not doing this, period. Also, here's my question. If a movie's not successful,
Right, right.
how do you think it's gonna work as a fucking multi-year show?
You couldn't get people to watch the fucking 2 hours. You couldn't get people to watch 2 hours. You're not gonna get them to
Right,
watch fucking
right.
18 to
Just cut your
20
losses
hours.
at that point and make the
Uh,
fucking movie, because you'll
it's
lose more money making the show than you would the
right because
movie.
the show is gonna fail. So that means you're failing on both fronts, right? TV and movies. And I'm just waiting for fucking Saw 11 to come out because
Yeah, that was supposed to come out actually today, and they pushed it back to next year. Still don't know what it's about. Like, we don't know when in the timeline it takes place. I'll be real with you, I'm sold out. I'm sold out. Like, y'all came back with Spiral. Y'all didn't even a Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson fucking Saw movie. Y'all couldn't make work. And then Saw 10 worked because it was an intercal.
right, right. But
So
I don't. You painted yourself in the corner in that
yeah,
franchise. You painted yourself in a corner in your business, right?
yes, yes.
You killed John Wick in the fifth one. Sorry, spoiler alert.
4.
Wait, and four, right? Uh,
Because they're trying to get 5 now, and Keanu's like, yeah, I guess we're gonna do 5 eventually.
right. So like now all creative credibility is gone because like you killed the motherfucker at the end of the last movie, and now you're gonna bring him back. Uh,
Well, that's just like Saw. Saw fell into the trap where they killed Jigsaw. So every movie after that, he had 20 apprentices, and they're all like, I'm the real apprentice, and they're all fucking pitting each other against each other. I'm like, this shit makes no
right,
sense.
and it's fucking goofy. Uh, at this point, Lionsgate is just fucking stars on in a movie theater, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all might as well start doing making Power into a series of movies to recoup some
Yeah,
money. I mean, y'all got 85 TV shows. Why not do a series of fucking movies at this point?
fine, fuck it. But like this AI shit for green lighting movies, I don't even know what to say about that because honestly, they are getting rid of their own jobs, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's fucking like
I have nothing to say, bro, other than like I hope they don't go bankrupt before the studio opens in Newark, because I'm trying to get a job up in there.
right. I mean, when is that supposed to open? Like 2 years from now, something like that.
I hope so. I hope that's if they're still around as a business,
We'll fucking see. Ah,
because I'm trying to be running Lionsgate one day. Like, I'm trying to put my feet up on the desk and be like, all right, what are we gonna greenlit and whose dreams are we gonna kill today?
right. But I'd rather have one asshole making the decisions than an algorithm. You know,
I'll be that asshole. Let me be that asshole and make the decisions at Lionsgate. Like Lionsgate, I could bring y'all back, baby. Like, I will put out some low budget action thrillers that are good, because the ones that y'all are putting out are terrible. Like Killer's Game. I wanted to see Killer's Game. That shit's gone.
is it?
Yeah, that shit came out last week, bro.
Yo.
The Dave Bautista, Sofia Boutella
Right,
joint.
because I was gonna catch up on a whole bunch of fucking movies this weekend, and Killer's Game was gonna be on that list.
Would like to also point out the one difference I would do between their mid-budget studios and their mid-budget action movies, and what I would do and what they're doing. One, we wouldn't shoot in Eastern Europe no more. We just wouldn't. And two, I would get directors who don't rely on green screen, because a lot of this shit looks like green screen mess. Like, come on, me and you, we liked Hitman's wife's Bodyguard, but a lot of that shit looked like it was in front of a green screen or in some Eastern European country. And I'm like, you guys got to start shooting over in Czechoslovakia because it looks cheap.
Like, I get it. It's cheaper and everything like that. But at this point, the audience is smart enough to know that fucking East Jabib is not New York fucking City.
Cause like y'all forget, like they had the Killer's Game, fucking Boy Kills World, which is on Hulu now. They've put out so many movies this year that I remember seeing, just because most of these were secret screenings. Oh, you have anything else to say?
No, like Lionsgate is making the moves that Zablov is doing look fucking magnanimous, right?
Well, with that, I want to get into one more thing before we move into your watches, Jeff, which is, I read this morning. They're going to announce the new director for Blade soon, because they're still sticking to that November 1st start date. They've talked to a lot of filmmakers, and the top contender right now is James Samuel. And I'm like, I'm good. If that's true, I'm good.
Like, what did he direct? I don't know.
The Harder They Fall. And then I completely forgot this came out this year. I could have swore it came out last year. I was just like, damn, I did see this in January. I thought I saw this shit sometime last year. The Book of Clarence.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good on Blade.
Yeah,
if that's true.
Will they just like put all the black directors in a hat and just like pick one at random? Yeah.
It's very clear they want a warm body on set and not a filmmaker for this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's Marvel's MO as is, but like,
okay, yeah, no,
it's really egregious here. Real egregious.
Well, you know, Ryan Coogler has his own Blade movie coming out soon.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, his Blade is dropping in March, and because he shot it on film, it looks gorgeous. Like he's using this. Rachel Morrison didn't DP this or Black Panther 2 because she's shooting her movie, which is coming out sometime in December. It's supposed to be like a huge awards contender, written and produced by Barry Jenkins. I'm like, oh, shout out to Barry. Yeah, Rachel Morrison. So he worked with Autumn Arkapow. She DP'd Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which I was just like, another thing that had me was like, no offense to her, but like, she's a step down from Rachel Morrison. But seeing Sinners, I was just like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Marvel was really holding them all back on Black Panther 2. Because again, you read that Variety article, and you know, Ryan's like, man, this Chadwick shit hurts. And then you have Kevin here being like, all right, that sucks, but like, okay, let's get this movie out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Sinners when we get to it. But Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What are you watching?
All right. So my watches are going to be relatively short because I've been on location for the last week. We're gonna start with in movies, possibly one of my favorite Ridley Scott films, uh, The Martian, because it appeared right there on HBO Max.
I was
And
gonna watch that too this weekend just because my brother got the 4K and it
uh-huh.
has the extended cut on there. I want to
Oh
give it a whirl.
oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it since my press screening.
Yeah, I love this fucking movie, right? Uh I love movies where people are stranded or a team is coming together to rescue someone. I'm a sucker for that. And this one, you know, it's it's beautifully shot. It's wonderfully acted. I've seen it 5 times, but every time I see it, I enjoy it as much as the first time, and that's a testament to that fucking movie.
Did you
Uh,
see it in 3D?
I did not see it in 3D. I've never seen it.
Oh, you fucked up.
I've never seen it in theaters. I only caught it on
Damn.
DVD when it came out on DVD, and I'm mad that I didn't see this on a big screen, right?
In 3D.
In 3D.
Yo,
So
Ridley worked hard on that fucking 3D too. Like
I'm
after the screening, that motherfucker came out. He's like, "Yeah, I watched it with you guys in the booth, so the sound was okay." We're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, "All right, was the 3D good?" Like we calibrated to make sure it was good. We were like, "Yeah." He's like, "Perfect."
Yeah. They should re-release this one too, right, in theaters. Why the fuck not? Yeah. Because we've been getting bullshit as of late, or at least this year. Yeah. So The Martian on HBO Max. It is chock full of science. I love astronauts. I love the space program. Uh, and I love fucking Matt. As much as Matt Damon pisses people off with his politics and everything like that, and just sticking his foot in his mouth, he is a fucking fantastic actor when he wants to be. Right. So The Martian on HBO Max. Moving on from that is I've never seen Flight. All right. Um, the fucking anti Sully Sullenberg movie, right? It's the Bizarro Sully movie, where Denzel Washington is a fucking coke addict, alcoholic pilot who saves.
Fake ass Scorsese movie.
Yeah, it's Denzel Washington's fucking fantastic in it, right? Like that's all I really can say about it, and it's a great concept. It's a great story. It just seems like it's missing a whole fucking bunch, right? The end ends after the courtroom drama is so fucking saccharine, where he's sitting down with his son for the interview. Is like, fucking all right, you fucking Hallmark movie. Like I've been watching Denzel do coke and fuck and drink for the past 2.5 hours, and this is how you're going to end the movie. All right, whatever.
Yo,
Uh,
and you know what? I wanted better from Robert Zemeckis because that floating shot when he first does the first line of coke, I was like, dog, this is some film school shit.
right? I mean, look, I've seen it. That's what I can say, right? I've seen it. Denzel Washington kills it. Now I know where all the memes come from and all the gifs on my phone that have to do with
Oh,
all
I'm
that
still
shit.
drunk.
Yeah,
I'm drunk right now.
yeah, exactly.
Uh, if here is not good, I'm done with you, Zemeckis. Like everybody's hyping up here. Like 3 more people text me last night. They were like, "Yo, I just saw here, dog. It's amazing."
Right, but they said the same thing about Flight.
I
Right?
didn't hear anything about Flight until I saw it.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Like everyone I know kept on saying like, "Oh yeah, yeah, Flight, Flight, Flight." Yeah, Denzel's great, but Denzel is always fucking great, even when he's sleeping in a movie, right? So Flight, if you haven't seen it and you want to watch Denzel Washington go off the rails, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, it is utterly forgettable. All right. Moving on from that into TV. I started watching Grotesque, the Ryan Murphy movie starring Niecy Nash.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are you still giving Ryan Murphy the time of day?
Look, I liked Monster, right? Right. I liked the Dahmer show.
Yo, because
So
the last thing he did was the first season. The last thing that was good that he did was like the first season of American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson season.
I haven't watched the new one, the Aaron Hernandez. I haven't watched that.
I don't give a shit, bro. Like,
Yeah,
like
and
after the Versace season, I was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't even. I skipped the Versace season.
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to the Menendez one. But I hear that's bullshit. So,
how many fucking documentaries are going to make about these two, though?
I mean, like
there's like 1 million documentaries about these two motherfuckers.
People love watching rich people fuck up, right? That should be a genre, and there are no two bigger rich fuck ups that are living, at least, than the fucking Menendez brothers. So I'm gonna give it a chance down the line. I'm not in a rush to fucking see that shit. But back to Grotesque. It is Hannibal through the lens of Ryan Murphy, right? I actually have never. The cinematography is great. I've never seen ugly look so good, right? It is gross. The first episode, there was a scene that almost had me throwing up. But it was beautifully composed, beautifully shot. This show is fucking weird. I can't tell if I love it or not because it is so weird, right? It's almost as if they made Seven a stage play, right? That's how it's being acted. Yeah, so I've only watched the first episode. I can't wait to get to the second episode to make a final decision on whether I'm going to stick with this or not. But if you're looking, if you love Ryan Murphy, and if you love serial killer / religious / gross out TV horror, if you liked Hannibal, this is a poor man's Ryan Murphy's version of Hannibal so far. But that's just the first episode. All right, and that is truly. Oh wait. TV, Chimp Crazy, finished it. White people, stop adopting wild animals. They are wild animals. As much as you think that these things are your friends and that they love you, XYZ, a fucking cow would murder you in your sleep if it could. Right? And then you get a fucking monkey that has twice the strength of a human being, and you put him in a fucking cage, put some pants on him, make him dance and shit like that, and you don't think he's gonna go a little fucking mad and then rip someone's face off. So, public service announcement, white people, no more lions, no more fucking tigers, no more monkeys. Leave that shit in the jungle where it belongs. Go fucking skiing. End of public service announcement. All right. I am done with my rants. Brandon, what have you been watching?
Well, I want to start off by saying I forgot to talk about this in news. You know how Horizon premiered at Cannes, right? Part 1.
Yeah, right.
Telluride and Venice are going on. Well, they were going on because TIFF just wrapped up, and now the New York Film Festival is going on. At Venice, Part 2 premiered. Part 2, by the way, still has no release date. Like, we still don't know when this motherfucker is dropping, or if it will ever drop. I read some of the reviews and the reactions. I'm like, all right, clearly this has an ending, because when this was initially announced, it was 2 parts. Reading the reviews, They are very vague on if this has a definitive ending or not. So I'm like, well, I guess not.
That is fucking asinine, right?
And it's apparently structured in the same exact way as the first movie, dog. And I'm just like, oh, so we're still just jumping from storyline to storyline, and these things really still. The reviews are also vague if they finally converge at Horizon or not. I don't know if I want to see this because everybody has pointed out. Remember when I did my review for part 1 where I was like, oh yeah, Ella Hunt and her husband, played by that other famous British dude, they're gonna be these two dudes are gonna rape her. Well,
right.
Come to find out, there's her whole storyline, the Wagon Trail storyline for part 2 is those two dudes kill the husband and take her as a sex slave, and she is continuously raped the entire fucking movie. And the whole Wagon Trail knows it, because this Wagon Trail has 300 people. Whole Wagon Trail knows it. Luke Wilson, who's supposed to be protecting these people, is allowing it to happen, and everybody's just letting it happen. Like, even the women are just like, well, bitch, it's you they want, not me. And I'm like, why would I want to sit through a whole ass storyline like that, where you're watching a movie be a woman be a sex slave and repeatedly raped until Isabel Furman, she's a teenager because she's with her family, and her whole family's full of famous people. Shout out to Isabel Furman. I'm glad you're not playing the orphan anymore. You get to at least play a different character. But yeah, apparently this storyline isn't resolved until the last 30 minutes when Isabel Furman's like, I've had enough, and she grabs a gun, and her and Ella Hunt go on a whole fucking side quest to rid themselves of these two dudes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, man.
I'm good on this. Like, Horizon keeps on staring me in the face on HBO Max, and I'm like, I don't have the energy or the willpower to watch this thing. And I love a fucking Western, right? But this Western, from what you've told me, from the fucking trailer, from everybody, from everything everyone said, I don't want to waste my time on that. And then to tell me that 2 is just like 1, but with more rape. That's
right.
cool.
Right. What's her face? Abby Lee. Remember how I told you how she was the prostitute who had the baby?
Yeah.
In every review I've read, they said that she spends the entire movie hiding under a saloon, looking up through the floorboards. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. I've heard. And apparently Giovanni Ribisi is the big bad because he is the one printing all these flyers saying "Go to Horizon."
Okay. I mean, I loves me some Giovanni Ribisi, but even that's not enough for me to watch this fucking movie. Did dude write it himself? Did Kevin Costner write this himself?
He co-wrote it with a guy named John Baird. And John Baird, if I remember correctly, has only written like a couple of other things.
Right. So like Kevin Costner wrote this whole entire fucking thing. He's been in the industry for what, like 30, 40 years? He should know what a fucking story is like. He thinks he's a cowboy. We gave him too much clout and burn off of Yellowstone, and now he's probably going to go bankrupt because he self-funded this.
That's the fact that storyline runs throughout the whole entire movie, and those two dudes aren't immediately killed, not by Luke Wilson or anybody else. There's like 200 people in this wagon trail. Nobody has the balls to just shoot these niggas in the head.
Right. And like, don't get me wrong, that doesn't seem like it couldn't happen or it didn't happen, but like, I don't think that Kevin Costner has the emotional intelligence to tell that story the way it needed to be told, especially in a movie with fucking 15 different storylines.
Yes, yes, yes. And the fact that this storyline is over the course of, because they said when part 2 was first announced, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. Reading the reviews, they're saying, "Oh no, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes." I'm like, "It's 10 minutes longer than the fucking first movie? It was supposed to be 20 minutes shorter."
Well, he added in the bits that he cut out of the first one because it doesn't fucking matter.
Jesus Christ.
And there's supposed to, like, how many were there supposed to be? 4 of these?
Yeah. Yeah, he's currently shooting 3, and he straight up says he doesn't know how he's going to make 4, but 4 will be made.
Here's the thing: if you're making 3, just rewrite the ending in the shit and go back to Yellowstone.
You know what this really should have been, Jeff?
A TV show?
Yes,
maybe?
a fucking TV show.
Give it to Tyler Sheridan. You should have just pitched it to Tyler Sheridan, put it in the fucking Yellowstone verse.
Should have just, honestly, if you need the money, should have just went back to Yellowstone. Could have just said, "Hey, I want to make these Westerns. Let me make these Westerns and I'll come back." So that way I could have the rest of this money. Y'all going to pay me more. So that way I could, once this season of Yellowstone's finished, I could go make these other 2 Westerns, and then I'll come back and you can kill me off in season 6. Because now they've greenlit season 6 of Yellowstone, and it's going to star Cole Hauser and Kelly Riley. So they're taking over the show. They clearly have, like, Taylor Sheridan's like, "Yeah, I'm going to execute my original 7-season plan. It's just going to be very different now."
I mean, good for him for being able to pivot. Don't let these stars hold you fucking hostage.
Yeah, like look, the show, I'm not going to lie, the show is compelling with other characters. Like, whenever John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, is not on screen, there's always something very exciting happening, even with the side characters.
Yeah, so I mean, I loved the first episode. I just don't have the emotional bandwidth to go through the first, like, these 5 seasons. But, like, it's not because I don't think it's a good show. It's just, yeah, it's on the fucking list. But, like, I after the first episode, I get it.
Yellowstone is what Horizon wants to be.
Yeah.
Because Yellowstone has all these characters. It's a Western, but it's in modern day. But all the storylines intersect at the ranch. It revolves around the ranch and the Duttons. And then the Duttons are filled out with all the people who work on the ranch and all their shit. Like, all the drama's compelling. There's still really no connective tissue at the end of Horizon Part 1, other than maybe all these people will make it to Horizon. Maybe.
Yeah, no.
And apparently there's the storyline. Remember I told you about Sam Worthington and Sienna Miller and how they're, like, flirting in the first one?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, apparently the whole storyline is, will they or won't they fuck? And the reason why Sam Worthington doesn't want to have sex with Sienna Miller is because she's a widow and she just got through her traumatic fucking thing in the first movie, and he's married. His character's married.
Okay, yeah, sure. Western rom-com or your Western whatever version of whatever romantic subgenre. It all sounds very boring to me. It all sounds very...
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I Ella Hunt is in Saturday Night, and I will talk about her performance in that. I don't know if I want to watch and I mean, she's the only person who's nude in Horizon Part 1 as well. I don't know if I want to watch her be raped for 3 hours. Yeah, and then get mad that nobody's going to help her out. Because I'm like, yo, if it was so easy to kill this rich British guy, how hard is it to kill these 2 scumbags?
I mean, like, look, I would have to watch the movie to see how mishandled it is, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm like, the Bebop and Rocksteady of the West are getting away with this shit. Okay. All right.
Yo, can we use that as a pull quote for an advertisement?
I want to know what's gonna happen with this fucking movie, because reading the reviews, I'm like, what's gonna happen? Because it still has no release date.
This might go directly to Max. This might go directly to HBO Max
over Kevin Costner's dead body.
Well, then they're going to have to kill Kevin Costner because that's the only. Because no one went to see it in the theater, not even grandmothers or grandfathers who love that shit. Yeah, they didn't go to see it. That's why it ended up on HBO Max within like what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it was a month.
Yeah, nah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to get that out the way, just because I was like, I really don't think I'm gonna see Horizon. Look, man, I've sat through so many rape movies, you know what I mean? And like,
right.
I think Blonde just broke me, where I'm just like, I don't need to watch this shit anymore. Like, the only one I will watch going forward is A Clockwork Orange, because there's a lot there to be dissected and to teach people. But otherwise, bro, it's just like we just talked about revenge. That's like the whole impetus of revenge.
Right.
Is that bitch gets raped and then thrown off a cliff and impaled on a fucking on a log.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just don't have it in me for these type of stories, exploitation stories anymore.
Yeah, and it's like not done by Kevin Costner, right? Like I don't think
because at least Revenge was done by a woman.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So anyways, I'm gonna start with TV because I've only seen 2 movies. So TV, The Wheel of Time season 2. Holy shit! Like, we got 2 episodes left. God damn, y'all. Watch this show. Please don't let this show like die. This is amazing. Fuck. Woo. Moving on. I want to talk about Futurama. Solid season so far, very solid. I like how this season has been all about anti-capitalism and how bad money is. It's hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. Like, I feel Futurama has Futurama has never been better. Okay? Great fucking show. Only Murders in the Building. This season, again, is so much better than season 3. We are just chugging along, and I'm really interested in Who Killed Zaz. Like, I'm hooked. I like Paul Rudd's character better this season than last season. Man, we are on a roll with this show. Moving on. Kite Man, hell yeah. It finally finished. I'm good. I'm really good on this show. I'm not gonna watch season 2. I'm fucking done. Like, all the way done. There's no need for me to watch this anymore. And finally, Tell Me Lies. I really like this season just because the chickens are coming home to roost with Steven. Steven's suffering a bit. I'm glad he's suffering. And you know, Lucy's starting to get her just desserts too. And that is it for TV. Let's move on to movies. And for the movies, let me start with I Saw the TV Glow. Okay. I've heard a lot about this movie ever since it dropped, and I just didn't get the chance to see it until it hit HBO Max last week, and I'm very glad I got to see it. I really fucking like this movie. This entire movie is a trans allegory. Like, yeah, this whole movie is a trans allegory, and it really is like a heartbreaking movie because I don't want to get too much into it because the less you know, the better. And I understand there's a lot of people who are going to watch this and be like, yo, what the fuck did I just watch, and not understand it. Let it permeate before you make your mind, because like this shit really resonated with me, where like the abrupt ending, I was like, wait, what? That's it? And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, that's the story that Jane was trying to tell. They were telling a specific type of trans story that, I mean, me personally, I will never ever have the experience of any of this, but like it hits, man. Like I just got hit in the feelings by the end of this, and lots of love for Buffy. There, Amber Benson is in this. If y'all don't know, she played Tara on the later seasons of Buffy. She it's a heartbreaking movie. I'm gonna move on now to 1996's Chain Reaction. Starring Keanu Reeves, Rachel Weisz, and Morgan Freeman. This motherfucker makes no sense. Like, this is a stupid, asinine movie on every level. I have no idea what the fuck I've watched, honestly. Also, maybe the first post-credit scene where it's just a shot of an explosion. And I was just like, y'all should have had that in the movie because that does tie up, like, the last important storyline. What a weird fucking movie. Also, like, there's a big reveal that Brian Cox is the villain, and I'm just like, dog, it's Brian Cox, and he's playing a slimy asshole. Like, of course he's the villain. What a fucking... This movie makes no sense. This movie, I don't know. Like, Morgan Freeman's both a hero and a villain. I don't know. And finally, Transformers 1 4DX 3D. I've never been shaken around so much. Holy shit. That was crazy. I saw it 2 more times, 4DX and Dolby, and I saw it in Dolby just to kill some time before screening. But the 4DX is like, this along with Twister should be permanent in 4DX. Like, the 4DX was rocking me so much that my 3D glasses almost flew off my face. That's how fast we were rocking. And that's it. That's all I got. And let's get into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action!
It's time for some trailer talk.
All right. Let's start with the trailer for The Last of Us. This looks good. It looks real good.
Yeah, I mean, if you've played the second game, you know what to expect. And it looked just like the first season was the first game. This, you'll see the same set pieces, you'll see the same characters, and get ready for another one. Get ready for another fucking fantastic season. It looks amazing. I'm looking forward to it. One of the best video game adaptations ever is back.
Apparently, season 2, 3, and 4 are going to be the second game, because that's how fucking big and long the second game is.
Yeah, I still haven't even gotten halfway through the second game because, like, my fucking heart couldn't take it.
All right, well, I only know one major story beat from the second game, so I'm wondering when that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's strap in. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't played the second game, but strap in.
All right, moving on. Fucking Thunderbolts. It looks all right. Like, it's fine. It's cool that Marvel kind of stepped out of the way and let them shoot on location and use real practical action, but like, it's a teaser trailer, so I don't want to give them too much credit.
Right. It's hard for me to get excited. Like, even though, like, it looks good. It looks fun. I love a team up movie, but I can't get excited for Marvel shit anymore. Right? Like, because it always ends up, for the most part, disappointing. So, like, we'll see.
Watching this trailer, it just kind of made me wish we just got another Black Widow movie with Yelena instead of this.
I mean, you said it.
Quite
You said
honestly.
it, right?
Sorry. Moving on. Let's do from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Look, I know you have to attach John Wick to this new offshoot franchise, but that title is it's gross.
Just here's two things you could have did. Just called it Ballerina, and if you're using the font and the style and you have him in the trailer, there's no need for that shit. Or you could go the Fast and Furious route and just be like John Wick presents Ballerina.
Right.
A lot cleaner.
Or like do what Harry Potter did and like with the wizarding world, right? Have like a John Wick imprint. Right?
Yeah. Y'all like the content. It would be ridiculous if the Continental was titled "From the World of John Wick: The Continental."
Right. It was just called the Continental, right? And you attach John Wick somehow. We all know what the Continental is by now. Yeah. So that title is gross. It's sloppy. It's lazy. It's like how they retitled fucking Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat. Right?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Right, exactly. It's
when really the movie should have just been called what the light novel was called, because it makes sense. All you need is kill. Even Emily Blunt's like, yeah, we should have just kept the original title, which was All You Need Is Kill. I was like, yeah, because that's the fucking movie. That's literally the movie.
Yeah, but this looks like a female-led John Wick. I love female assassin movies.
The punch, though, like there's a shot in there where she shoves a grenade in a homie's mouth and then hides behind a steel door, and I was like, she is not moving fast enough for that to be as cool as they think it is.
Yeah, it did kind of lose me when they had the flamethrower versus
the hose. Yeah, that shit was stupid. The reload and load and that's all from John Wick. I'm like, all right, at least they got that. It looks like a John Wick movie, but I've heard so much terrible things about this and how even Ian McShane was like, yeah, the movie sucks.
Yeah.
When you have one of the stars in there and he's just like, I wouldn't even call them reshoots that we did. They were entirely new shoots.
Whew.
Yeah, they added 2 characters in during the reshoots as well.
Oh, word?
Yeah, okay. So Sharon Duncan Brewster, the black woman with the dreads from Dune.
Yeah.
You see her in the trailer. Apparently she was added in the reshoots.
Sure. All right. Yeah, that bodes well.
Well, your first mistake was getting Len Wiseman. That was mistake number 1. You know what I mean?
Wiseman? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, guys. Like, what are you thinking?
Underworld is damn near 24 years ago now.
Is it that old?
Yeah, wow. It came out in 2000.
Holy shit.
January 2000. Underworld's 24 years ago, and he hasn't really made anything significant since Total Recall, which was like 2015, 2016.
Right.
Maybe even 2014. I don't know why you hired him to do this shit, quite honestly.
Cheap. He was cheap.
Yeah, and now you guys spent more money than you needed to and had to bring back fucking Chad Stahelski. And apparently even Chad couldn't save this shit.
All right, well, I mean, we'll find out how bad it is when it drops. When's it supposed to come out?
Fuck if I know. Sometime next year.
Yep.
It was supposed to come out this year, now it's coming out next year.
Sometime next year, we'll find out how badly they fucked the pooch on this one.
And now our final trailer, Sinners. This looks gorgeous, first and foremost.
God damn.
Shot on a combination of 70 millimeter and IMAX film. And you could tell it's shot on film because it looks grainy as fuck and it looks beautiful because only film could capture the type of images that you're seeing in this fucking trailer.
And I love Southern horror, Southern Gothic fucking movies. And this just nails it. It is It is exciting, right? It's fucking terrifying. Like this trailer, right, has done more in the 2 minutes that I saw than a lot of the actual horror movies that have come out this year have done.
I'm just glad to see Ryan Coogler doing big budget original shit. I was like, okay, I guess we can finally add Ryan Coogler to the list of Spielberg, Scorsese, Nolan, Denny, and Jordan Peele, where they can get original shit made just off their name alone. And I'm like, all right, thank God. Let's keep expanding this roster. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I would love more big budget original shit like this.
And it's out there. Like the stories are fucking out there. You just have to fucking have faith
Oh yeah,
in filmmakers.
P.T. Anderson, because his next movie coming out in August cost $150 million, said to have a lot of action in it. And it's his most mainstream movie.
Really? I actually can't wait for a big budget P.T. Anderson film.
Yeah, starring Leonardo. He finally got his white whale. So Leo's in this because he's been chasing Leo for 10 years. And he got Regina King in this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yo, listen, I want to say this. Regina King's an underrated actress because I've been seeing her in dramatic roles, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it. She's better as a dramatic actress than she is a comedian. I was like, damn, bro, those scary movies were holding you back.
I even forgot that she was in those scary movies.
Yeah,
right?
Anna Faris just recently did an interview. She's like, there's two things that'll take for Scary Movie 6 to happen. There's two things that'll take for that to happen. One is money. Like, I got to get paid good money. I was like, yeah, I don't blame you.
Right.
And she said, and Regina Hall, she's like, I'm not doing these without Regina Hall.
Right, because they're the heroes. They're the leads, right? Like,
yeah, and it sucks
chemistry.
to hear what happened to the Waynes. Like, the Waynes were going to keep doing Scary Movie, and they
gave to the Zuckers, right?
Yeah, because Harvey.
Yeah, no.
Harvey didn't want to pay them, so he's just like, oh, I could get the Zucker for cheap. It was the Republican Zucker, the dude who's has some real wild shit to say. That's why he hasn't worked with his brother, because his brother's like, oh, fuck him.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah, bro. So, good to see everybody on the come up. Glad to see everybody's making big budget movies now. Holy shit. It should not have taken this long to get a $100 million
P.T. Anderson.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And in his most mainstream movie, as they say.
Well, like I love that his most mainstream movie still probably going to be fucking.
We'll see, man, because Boogie Nights is pretty fucking mainstream. And his biggest hit of his career, which is modest in other people's careers, is There Will Be Blood. Like, that's his highest grossing movie. Which,
like, I loved it, but I don't know why it's his highest grossing one, because it's
one of the most gangster fucking movies ever made. That's why
it is. But like, it to me, it felt too smart for the general viewing public.
Yeah, well, that's because we used to be smarter. Like, if you look at what was hits back in the day, even when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, yeah, people actually used to fucking care. And now you just want mindless entertainment. I'll never forget working in a video store, and Ninja Assassin, this black dude bought Ninja Assassin. Homie was like 45, 50. And he's like, did you see this? It's good. I was just like, yeah, it sucked, dog. It sucked. I did not like it. It was no story. He's like, why? The action was cool. I was like, not really. I was like, this movie was dumb. And he's like, yeah, well, I don't like to think when I watch shit. And I'm like, yeah, clearly. I didn't say it to him, but I was just like, yeah, clearly. And then he started going on a whole rant about how the movie was supposed to be in 3D and it wasn't. I'm like, how do you know it's supposed to be in 3D? He's like, because the stuff's coming at you, man. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
And sometimes it's just easier to walk away from the conversation.
I couldn't. I'm working.
Yeah, so like
the video store, bro. You learn people's taste, and they get mad and report you to corporate. Like some dude reported me to corporate because he said I was like, yo, you think David Fincher's movie sucks? And he's like, yeah, his movies suck. I was like, oh, so what do you like, man? And he's like, my favorite movie of this year is Death Race. I was like, oh, Jesus. And I was just like, damn, bro. I was just like, and I shitted on his taste. He reported me to corporate, and corporate's like, yo, listen, we don't really give a fuck, honestly. But like, just you gotta smooth him. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, apparently he told us that you shitted on him and you said his girlfriend has better taste than he does. I was like, and like, you're not even wrong. He's like, he's even said, like, you're not even wrong.
That just sounds like banter, right? That didn't even sound like you were really shitting on him. It just sounds like you were just having a conversation. But whatever.
Right. And I'm like, yo, look, man, this is when I really cared about other people's opinion. Which now I'm just like, sure, you like it. I don't give a fuck. That motherfucker, his girlfriend, who was not only was she hotter than him, but she was like watching films while this nigga was watching shit like Death Race. Like she was watching Social Network, she was watching like Inception and shit like that, and this dude, he was just like, yeah, but like, you know.
Which Death Race? The OG Roger Corman
one?
Or?
No. Or else, if he said the OG one, I'd be like, all right, yeah, fine. I'm talking about the Jason Statham one.
Okay. All right.
That nigga's, he loved Doomsday.
Hey, look, I liked Doomsday because it was dumb. Right? Like, it is no way a good movie.
Okay, so then stop right there. Yeah. Stop right there.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, I can admit something's dumb and bad and still enjoy it because I watch actual films as well.
I mean, that was 14 years ago, and I was young. I was like young. Like I had just turned like legal drinking age, or like I want to know if they're still together since that was 14 years ago.
Who? The couple? Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they gotta be broken up by now.
Yeah, like
she was just too good for him. And it's not like I was jealous of homie, like I wanted to date her or nothing, because it's just they did not belong together, is what I'm trying to say.
It takes all kinds, but yeah, that motherfucker probably had money.
Yeah, gotta. I hated working at that video store. We got some characters in there. The people sucked. Dealing with a mutual person we both know, I was just like, bro, you're not that good of a boss, man.
The
video store sucked, dog. Like, bro, the computers would go down almost every day, and I would have to give out as a manager like coupons for like 50% off your next order.
Right.
And it got so bad, some fucking Hispanic dude with a mohawk, I was just like, yeah, douchebag just goes, why can't you guys get these computers working? I was like, dude, I'm doing everything in my power to make these computers work. He's like, this is ridiculous. And the dude in front of him turned around. He's like, there's 10 people in front of me. There's 20 people behind you. What are you in a rush for? You want to run home and watch your fucking movies? It's him and one other person. They're trying to fix the fucking problem. It's not like they're not trying to fix this. And I looked right at him, and he looked at me, and then he put his head down and just looked at his shoes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only time I'll say an old white dude actually did right by me.
This is why I hated working in public, right? For the public.
Yeah.
People get a little bit of power, right? Or perceived power, and they blow it out of fucking proportion, right?
Bro, there's one dude, he was huge. And I mean, he was bigger than me at my heaviest. And this motherfucker would come in, and we would all hate him because he would just be like, he would buy used movies and then get mad if there was no digital copy.
Well, but you're buying the fucking physical copy. So why does it matter?
So eventually got to a point where we're just like, dude, either you got to start buying new movies or you're going to have to take the L if the digital copy's already been used or if it's not in there.
Right? Like, you're buying used. If the shit works, you should be happy, right? If like you have the disc, you can put it in your fucking system. You can watch the movie.
Yeah.
I don't see what being angry about it is.
That's why I buy new shit, because sometimes I do want that digital copy, because sometimes I know there's going to be a time where I'm going to be too fucked up to grab the physical DVD, or I don't feel like, going through my collection and finding the fucking Blu-ray. I could just open up Fandango or Movies Anywhere and just be like, all right, let's just play this. It's going to be a shit quality stream, but it'll sound good and,
But like you bought it new, right? If you buy used, you shouldn't expect all the perks of buying something new, right? Like that's just obvious, right? Someone had it before you. What makes you think they didn't download the shit before you?
Everybody, yeah. They're like 90% of this clientele were fucking assholes.
That's the public. That is the public.
Yeah. Anyway, Sinners. Fucking shit looks hard, bro.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's playing twins, and I'm pretty sure one of them motherfuckers is evil.
I mean, one of them's definitely gonna get turned or something like that.
Into a vampire?
Yeah.
Yo, there's a shot of Haley Steinfeld in a negligee, and I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I was like, Ryan, you're married with a kid. I see what you're doing here.
Hey, look, he can look, but he can't touch, and he can make it happen and still not touch. You put it on screen, call it art. I respect that.
Yeah, that I'll tell you what, that is art. It's art in my eyes, yo. Like Haley, if you're listening to this, fucking call me like immediately.
Respect.
I think she's part black too.
Huh.
So that makes my chub even get a little harder.
I'm gonna have to research that.
Yeah. Yo, listen, Haley, get at me, girl. But yeah, dog, I cannot wait to see this. Winnie's in this.
Yeah, like it's.
I love her because she's a great actress.
This is. Even if they get Blade off the ground, right? Even if this motherfucker that they hired doesn't quit, there is no way that the Blade movie now with this director attached is going to be better than Sinners. Sorry.
I will say too, if this motherfucker ends up being good, I might do what I did for Dune and Oppenheimer, which is not only see it multiple times in 70 millimeter IMAX, but I might actually check out a regular 70 millimeter screening. Because I'll tell you what, even on regular 70, both of those movies are fucking crazy.
Yeah, because they cared about how it was shot.
Yeah, they both look amazing. Like the thing about Dune is shot digitally, and when you put it on film, it gives it an otherworldly look because the colors are washed out.
Right.
And it looks amazing, like washed out. You know what I mean? Like I'm so used now to watching it on my 4K TV where it's all vibrant and bright and poppy. I'm like, I kind of miss the washed out look of film that it had.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say. Like, you're right. Yeah.
So I mean, Oppenheimer looked amazing because it was shot on film, and this will look amazing because it's shot on film. But yeah, like I want to see film prints.
Yeah.
Like I still want to see the 70 millimeter print of Nope that's floating around.
I didn't even know there was a 70 floating around.
Yeah, it keeps popping up in New York, LA, and Chicago like twice a year, and I keep missing it.
Well, wait, put it out to the universe, man. You'll catch it.
I'll put this out in the universe. IMAX, y'all did 70 millimeter screenings of 2001. Amazing. Now do it for Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was answering an email. But yeah, film will always trump digital. I'm sorry. It's got a vibrancy. It's got a life to it. It's organic. It's so we need to start getting back into showing, shooting, projecting real fucking film.
I mean, every time they do a big wide release, it sells out. Like Dune was sold out for weeks on end. Oppenheimer was impossible to see for like months.
Yeah, I didn't
on
see
on any film format.
I think it took me 2 months to get a screening at the fucking AMC in New York with the IMAX screen. Like,
Yeah, bro, because I wanted to see it again, and that's how I saw it in regular 70 millimeters. Because I wanted to see it in IMAX 70, and they're like, "Oh no, this is not gonna happen." And there's a few seats left in regular 70, and then I went and saw it in regular 70. I'm like, "Damn, this is just as loud." IMAX was louder, but it's almost as loud as IMAX, and it still plays like an epic on 70 millimeter film. Like seeing it on that screen and just normal 70, I'm like, yeah, dude, this is a good transfer.
It's a big film. Like it's no matter whether it's IMAX 70 or regular 70, it's just a big fucking film.
Like the only version I wouldn't want to see Oppenheimer is 35, because that 35 is going to lose so much and look shitty because it's shot on such big film formats that now you're downscaling to
half. You're down
half. Yeah. Because I remember when I first saw Interstellar, my screening was in 35. And I wasn't mad because a majority of that movie was shot in 35. Like an hour of it is in IMAX, and then the other parts of it are in 35. So that was before, because he didn't start. It wasn't until Dunkirk where they were like, all right, 70 for what's not going to be in IMAX, and then the rest is going to be IMAX film. So if you shoot on IMAX film, I'm saying like shoot on 70, because 35 and IMAX, night and day difference.
Right.
Whereas 70, it fits together, is what I'm trying to say. The resolution is still just as good.
It's comparable.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna see Sinners in 70 millimeter IMAX and regular 70. Fuck it.
Yeah. But needless to say, if you check out the trailer for Sinners and support this movie when it fucking comes out in March.
Yeah, man, because I want more original shit. We need more original shit. I'm tired of these fucking franchises, y'all. Like I'm seriously.
No more product.
So
no more product.
Let's get into our main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurts feature film review.
All right. So we got a whole bunch for our main reviews, but let's start with some of the properties that Brandon and I have watched together. And let's start with The Penguin.
Yeah, I fuck with this. It kind of makes me wish the Batman was also rated R, because the fucks feel so natural, and it's kind of like, damn, they should have said fucking the Batman.
Yeah, I love this show so much that I've watched the first episode 3 times.
Yeah, I watched it twice. It's good. My only, I have no complaints about this shit. My only complaint really is, sometimes it looks like, the visual language that Greg Fraser established in the first movie. Right. And then sometimes it just looks like fucking TV.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. Yeah, I did notice that, but the acting and the story on display are so not what we're used to with a comic book property, right? That it gets a hard pass. I don't. That's not going to be a sticking point for me. Colin Farrell has taken this character to a new fucking level, and honestly, everything that you saw in the trailer is I would say a good 65-75% of the trailer is just the first episode, so you really don't even know what's going on in the rest of the season.
It's cool though. It's cool because they made Oswald a fully realized character. You know what I mean? Like, he walks like a penguin. There's a specific reason that he walks like that, and they show it in the show. Uh, you really feel bad for him, honestly.
Right. Even though he's a cold-blooded killer, you
Right.
like.
You know what? That motherfucker had it coming at the beginning, though.
Yeah, he did, and I love that story that Oswald told about like his small neighborhood gangster, right? Uh, I love the way they did that slow push in with that when he gave that story. This is a excellent show. I cannot wait for fucking Sunday.
Kristen Milotti, I hope she gets her props. I always liked her in everything I saw her in, and like she's always underrated. Like even when I've been reading reviews for this show, people still not giving her like her props.
She is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Here, right?
yeah,
Like
because she. For those of you who don't know, Sophia is a serial killer in the comics. Like that's a big storyline, is that she is a serial killer.
yeah, and so yeah, she is every scene that she's in, you feel uncomfortable because you really have no idea what she's gonna do. That unease. I mean, honestly, you really don't know what any character is going to do so far in this show. Yeah, I cannot wait. Uh, this is what This is what I wish more Marvel properties would do. Like, do something interesting. Do something weird. Not weird, but like
Character based. A little character based, a little grittier, something that fits into the world but is different instead of making the same fucking movie over and over again. I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, this made the Batman even better. Honestly,
Greg Fraser was a visual consultant on this show. He's not the DP, but he was a consultant. And now Matt Reeves has said that they are literally gearing up to start shooting part 2 in January. And he doesn't know if Greg will be available just because there's rumors, not confirmed, that Dune is also going to start shooting in January. Which I'm just like, yep, Denny, we can take a break, bro. Like, worry about the awards campaign. Like, the movie's not going to be ready till 2026. Batman comes out this time next year. Like, let Greg do this movie and then get him. Like, Dune could start shooting at the end of 2025. You know what I mean? And they'll still have time to make it for their Christmas release date.
I get it though. Like with Denny, this is his dream property, right? And with the debacle of them greenlighting part 2 and everything like that, with that went wrong, not with the studio with part 1, them not really having faith in it. I get it. Like he wants
It's
to.
not that they didn't have faith in it. It was just they Project Popcorn kind of fucked it.
Right. I mean, yeah. But yeah, so I get it. I like, but yeah, I'm just gonna. I say I get why Denny is moving fast. But
you know what, man? The Doom Messiah takes place 12 years after the first story.
Oh, does it? Oh,
you could go and make fucking Cleopatra or fucking the nuclear war movie or Rendezvous with Rama in the meantime. Like, we don't need Doom Messiah right away. You know what I'm saying? Especially since you should probably let these motherfuckers get a little old before you. Yeah.
Fair. But yeah, Penguin, I got nothing else to say. You should be watching this.
Yeah, look, has me excited for the rest of the show. Like, I'm really want to see Oswald's come up and how exactly this story and how exactly he is going to fit in part 2.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting.
So, Moving on from that, I guess we talk about the first 3 episodes of Agatha All Along.
I really dig Agatha All Along, and when I say I dig it, I dig the second and third episode. Right? The first episode, they tried to do this fucking riff on Mayor of Easttown, even down to the
Yeah.
accent, and it's like, I get it because you're trying to feed into WandaVision and shit like that.
But that gimmick was done. That was old by the end of episode 4 of WandaVision, and they did that for another 3 episodes.
Right, and the first episode didn't really get interesting until the last 10 minutes when we get the reveal and like she actually comes back to being Agatha.
Oh, real quick. Speaking of WandaVision, that show, those commercials in that show were originally supposed to be Doctor Strange trying to get in touch with Wanda.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember WandaVision.
Yeah, the commercials were weird and surreal.
Right.
That's why. It was supposed to be Doctor Strange trying to get in contact with her because originally I just watched a video, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. She was supposed to be the sidekick, the co-lead, and it was going to be them two versus Midnight. I think that not Papa Midnight, but like Nightmare. It was either Midnight or Nightmare, some entity.
Right.
And they spend most of the movie in the Nightmare realm. Kevin got cold feet because it was a horror movie. Even though Scott Derrickson said it'll be PG-13, it'll be Disney friendly, but it'll be a horror movie. And Kevin got cold feet and he didn't want to do a horror movie anymore.
That pitch sounds amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Mordo was going to be in for the first 15 minutes. He was going to be a real threat until, what's his face? Nightmare kills him.
All right.
And now Mortal's still out there, right? We still have that thread to yank on.
Which, is he even in Multiverse of Madness at all? Do they even mention him at all?
It's the alternate universe.
Right. That's
it's not him specifically.
That's how much I remember that movie. But anyway, I didn't like the first episode of Agatha because of that whole time Mayor of Easttown thing. And also because it relied too much on me having knowledge of WandaVision,
right?
To really lock in a show that came out 2 years ago.
4.
WandaVision came out 4 years ago.
Came out January. It was during lockdown. It was like it came out during lockdown. I remember that much.
Yeah, so like it came out 4 fucking years ago, and it wasn't that good by the end. So I have no reason to want to go back and revisit it. So the fact that the first episode of this show relies so heavily on that back knowledge, it already kind of gave me a bad taste, right?
Yeah, I agree with you because I was just like, dude, I the fact that we've waited so long to yank this thread and then them announcing White Vision coming out, which won't be out for another 2 years. So it'll be 6 years by the time White Vision, the sequel to WandaVision, drops, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Anyway, like let's move on. I really started liking this show by the second episode because I love a fucking team up, right? I love this ensemble. It's fun, it's snarky. And most importantly, it does not feel like Marvel, and it does not rely on so much on the fucking cinematic universe or the television universe for it to move forward. It feels like its own thing.
Right. That's the one thing I do like about it, but I think it's an okay show. Like it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not over the moon about it, but like. It's definitely better than a lot of the recent shit we've gotten. Like it's better than Secret Invasion, better than She-Hulk, better than oh man, there's been so many TV shows I'm kind of forgetting them all.
Right, and like honestly, none of them really matter.
Except for Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel was great. I'm really enjoying this show, and I get why you think it's just fine, because honestly, this show is kind of not made for us, right? Like, it feels like it's really leaning into women Marvel fans, right? Um, and that's fine. I can still enjoy the show, and I still really, really like it, but it does not feel like it's made for your typical Marvel fucking
It
Cheetos eating
reminds me
fanboy.
of Moon Knight, because Moon Knight was so disconnected from the rest of this shit, and I hope Moon Knight stays that way. Like, I don't want Moon Knight in the Avengers or any of that shit.
Right.
Same with this. Like, keep that shit. Like, not all this shit needs to be in Avengers. Like, I think that's their main problem. They've introduced way too many characters too fast without
Really
giving
developing.
proper send-offs for the other characters. Because, you know, by the time Endgame rolled around, we had the original Avengers and the Guardians, and then Black Panther was added in there, and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and that was it.
Right. Yeah.
Now we have so many heroes, so many villains, and I'm just like, this is too sprawling now, and a lot of the shit that they've set up hasn't even been paid off. Like Shang-Chi, I don't even know where he fits into all this.
I shouldn't need a fucking basement command center with the fucking red string going from here to there, from picture to picture, in order to enjoy a movie or a television show.
Right. I think the one thing they did right in the first 3 phases is give everybody a trilogy, and then that was it. And they needed to do this too, is like, whoever hasn't had their trilogy finished, we're going to finish it and give you a send-off like they did for the Guardians. And they needed to do it with a couple of more characters. Like,
Right.
I'll be real with you, phase 5 or 6, really we should be getting the last movies for Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange, so we could send them on their way as well.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Because there's just too many fucking... And then you're going to bring in Fantastic Four and X-Men on top of this, and I'm like, this is too many... Y'all have too many characters now in this motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's going to collapse, right? We're already at burnout, and that's why this is so refreshing, because I think in the 3rd episode, I think they mentioned Wanda once.
And yeah, because they talk about her a lot in the first 2. And there's a brief mention of Mephisto, or however you say his name.
Mephisto or whoever.
Yeah,
that is.
Mephisto. Yeah,
Right.
There's a brief mention of him. So I was like, okay, so he's coming. And if he's coming, keep him here. Don't... And maybe Doctor Strange, right? Maybe Doctor Strange. Yeah. But like, otherwise, don't drag him through all this other shit.
I don't want Iron Man. I don't want Ironheart fighting Mephisto or teaming up with this coven. I want this to be its own thing, because I can see from where it's going, it's getting better. It's gotten better from episode to episode. So I'm really looking forward to episode 4 and seeing how this quest for the fucking coven goes.
Oh, who's the kid's name? What's the kid's name?
Like his name in the show?
Yeah.
We still don't know.
Okay. All right.
In the 3rd episode, they give us sort of a hint of who he is, but like it could be a misdirection, which is
might
cool,
be Wiccan then.
Cool and interesting, but keep this its own thing, because honestly, if I didn't know it was a Marvel show, I would have just thought it was a show about some fucking witches, which is cool to me.
Right, it's fine. I'm fine with that, man. We don't fucking need all this shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
there's there's just too much of this shit, man.
Yeah, I'm burnt out.
Ironheart was shot 2 years ago, and it's just gonna come out next year. That shit should have dropped like a month or 2 after Wakanda Forever.
Right, where they shoehorned her into.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. When really, honestly, her character probably should have been introduced in Armor Wars.
Which is is that what we're calling Avengers? No, wait. That's his own movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
See,
it was a show that's now being a movie, and I was just like, y'all took too long to give Rhodey his own movie. Honestly, it shouldn't have taken this long.
Yeah, I'm at a point like I just don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah, man, it's.
Yeah.
Look, it's cool that War Machine's getting his own movie, but also like it too little, too late.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this shit.
Yeah, I like at this point I'm forgetting what happens in previous movies, knowledge that I need to enjoy upcoming movies, and that's a fucking problem.
That's the problem with, and that's also the problem with TV is like we're now waiting 3 years for 8 episodes. And that's the problem I have with the Wheel of Time. I love this show, but there's parts of it where I'm just like, I'm lost because this shit happened in season 1, and season 1 was like 2 years ago.
Right. And I get it. Like, oh, you can rewatch it. It's like, but I don't have time to go back and rewatch.
Look, man, if I'm gonna rewatch a show, I'm going to rewatch the entire thing, not just a season.
Right.
Because that's just. I've done that before, and I just found myself like, yo, this is just a waste of time.
Right, because then like you rewatch one season, it's like I might as well have just gone and started from the beginning again, right?
Yeah. So like we used to get TV pretty quickly, and now like the only excuse any show had was Sopranos, where Sopranos took 2 years off because David Chase was like, I need to figure out how to properly close this out.
Right. Yeah.
And that was it. Otherwise, bro, if we're only doing 8 episodes a season, it should not take you 2 years to make one season of TV. I'm sorry.
I do what the Brits do. Like their TV, 6 to 8 episodes, but like consistently every year, if it gets renewed, it's coming out. Right? Like Slow Horses. Like fucking at the end of every season of Slow Horses, they literally show you what's happening in the next season of Slow Horses, right? They've already started shooting that shit before the end of the current season.
See, or the reason why it takes British TV so long is because they only run for 3-4 seasons.
Right, which is if they can't tell it in 4 seasons, it's proper storytelling. I could get into like British television and how it's far superior storytelling than this product-based shit we're doing now, but that's another conversation.
Like the only other show I have to say that I get why it takes long is Westworld.
Yeah,
like I got why it took them fucking 2 years a season, because that show is heady. They're doing a lot, and that show is huge.
It's huge. It's expensive, and it's intricate, right? So
yeah. Otherwise, there's no excuse, guys. Really, there really isn't. That this shit is taking 2-3 years for every fucking show now. Because I'm gonna be real with you. As much as I'm looking forward to The Last of Us, I've already forgotten half of season 1, and it's not because I don't like it. It's just because I don't have the bandwidth to keep this shit in my brain anymore. And it's been years, bro. Like I just can't remember shit over the course of years anymore.
And it's because we're putting movie stars in television shows.
Because Pedro Pascal has like 8 balls up in the air. Because the Wild Robot drops this weekend. He's in that. He's gonna be Reed Richards. It's like, yo, motherfuckers are in everything. That's the other problem. You gotta wait for motherfuckers' schedules to open up now.
Right, like a movie star should be a movie star. Like back in the day, a movie star was a movie star, and a television star was a television star. That's why you could put out faster seasons. And honestly, maybe we should get back to that.
No offense to Denny, but I just remembered Zendaya is under contract to do season 3 of Euphoria, so there ain't no way they're shooting Dune in January, because that's when they're gonna start shooting fucking season 3. Because they gave that nigga ultimatum. They're like, yo, scripts turned in halfway through October.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting ride. But that's all I gotta say about Agatha. I like it. I think if you have Disney Plus, if you if you're into Marvel and you want a change of pace, you could do much, much worse.
Yeah, like this and X-Men have proved like a lot of this shit needs to start being detached from the overall big picture, honestly.
100%.
So, I want to give a shout out real quick before I get into this next review. I forgot to talk about this in the What Have You Watched Lately. Shout out to Krungbin. Y'all put on a great show. Sorry New York wasn't fucking with the new album. They just came to see the hits, but you know, it is what it is. Fucking great show. Man, I gotta see y'all again though. I hate Forest Hills. Forest Hills, it's a pain.
It's just fucking. It's forever in a day away.
Um, I'm gonna talk about Lee, Ellen Kurris's debut feature. She is a cinematographer. Shout out to her. She listens to the show and she shouted us out a couple of times. Lee is it's about Elizabeth Lee Miller. She was a model who became a photographer and a renowned photographer. And it's okay. I didn't really glean much of anything from this movie that was all that groundbreaking. It's a fine movie. It's fine. Shout out to Andrea Riseborough. Kate Winslet, even in movies like this where you're just like, oh, it's okay, still turns in a great performance. The Q&A honestly was better than the movie, so I don't know what that says about this shit, but that is not good. Yeah, this is going to drop soon. I guess you could honestly wait. Like this is something you could wait and see on something streaming. Uh, Lionsgate. This is a Lionsgate release. Moving on, I'm gonna talk briefly about Megalopolis because I still don't know what to say about this motherfucker. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to review this. I got to see it again just because this is a movie I can't even recommend to y'all because I know a lot of y'all who listen to this are cinephiles, and to you, I say go see it just to say that you saw it. But otherwise, everybody else, if you're just a casual movie watcher and you're watching this, hold off. Hold off. And we're going to do a full spoiler review because there's no way to not talk about this without spoiling it. Then on the next episode, again, I think I enjoyed the Q&A with Francis Ford Coppola, Robert De Niro, and Spike Lee more than the actual movie itself. John Watts' Wolves got a 1-week limited release. It's now on Apple TV Plus. Apple decided to cancel the release of this movie at the last minute because all their movies have basically flopped and they've lost a lot of money. Like the one that broke the camel's back was Fly Me to the Moon, which is not that good of a movie to begin with. This is good. This is very entertaining. This is going to be your dad's new favorite movie. George Clooney and Brad Pitt have worked together, obviously, on the Ocean's trilogy, so it seems like this reinvigorated them. They're having a lot of fun. They're a great mismatched pair. Real great. It is what it is. I enjoyed it. They definitely spent way too much money on a movie this small because it is a small action comedy thriller. I missed the shit that was in the credits, so y'all got to tell me what was in the credits because I had to run. I had to run to the next movie I'm going to talk about, which is Saturday Night. Jason Reitman, who y'all know I'm kind of lukewarm on, and I'm glad this was good. I'm very glad this is good. Ella Hunt plays Gilda Radner, a dead ringer for Gilda Radner. I'm just like, holy shit. Whoever, I think Matt Wood was his name, who plays John Belushi. It's crazy how much he's John Belushi. The dude playing Chevy Chase is so good as Chevy Chase. Damn, Chevy's always been a dickhead though. And Dylan O'Brien really kills it as Dan Aykroyd. Lamont Morris, who I know from New Girl, and which probably a lot of you know from New Girl, he fucking also kills it as Garrett Morris. This shit had me dying. As a huge fan of SNL, I didn't realize how close this shit was to collapsing. Honestly, I didn't know that this was on the hopes and whims of a prayer. And like, I see why Lorne is the force that he is, because if it wasn't for Lorne, most of these motherfuckers would be out of work or be janitors, and they should be all thanking their lucky stars Lorne believed in them. But like, I'm really just floored by Ella Hunt as Gilda Radner, because Jesus Christ, that was Gilda in the flesh, honestly.
I honestly can't wait for this fucking movie.
It helps that it's also fucking funny too. Like, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah,
there's one part with Lamont Morris where he plays Garrett Morris, and you'll know what part it is. It's my favorite part of the movie, and now I'm gonna sing that anytime I'm around white people. There's a white girl sitting next to me during the screening, and I was laughing so hard I could feel her anger at this part, because I would not stop laughing. Like, nobody else was laughing except for me.
Yo, this movie has white tears in it too, like getting white people upset. I love it.
Yeah, like this is a ruthless movie, man. Like it's.
Well, I mean, the show
also fuck Johnny Carson.
I mean, the show used to be a little bit more ruthless than it's become. I've been watching Saturday Night Live literally every Saturday since I was like fucking 10 years old, right? So the show will always be close to my heart.
Yeah, because by the time you guys are listening to this episode, the premiere of season 50, the historic 50th season, is going to air, because we're gonna drop this right on Saturday night. Like, so like, look, Lorne deserves all the praise he gets, because like, really, he kept it together. I want to say Gabriel LaBelle, I'm so glad to see him. He's great in this movie. I'm glad to see him working, because talking to him after The Fabelmans, he wasn't sure if he was going to keep working or not, just because he's just like, I don't know, man, Hollywood's weird. I'm like, bro, you're going to be okay. And I'm glad he got this, because he is the star of this too. And man, there's nothing else to say other than Lorne was put through the ringer, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know Lorne said he was going to step away after season 50, and they recently did an interview. They're like, who's going to take over? He's like, oh, nobody, I'm staying. He's like, fuck that, I changed my mind. He's like, I'm staying till I drop dead. And I'm like, Lorne, you're 80s too. Like, I don't know, man.
But this is his baby. But also, I can't imagine anyone like.
Oh, well, you know who was going to take over if he left, right?
Who?
It was Tina Fey. Like, he already said, he's like, yeah, once I'm gone, it's Tina's show.
Okay. All right. Tina Fey. Okay. That it would be different, but it would be fucking fantastic, because I still go back and watch 30 Rock. Right?
So, I mean, 30 Rock and the whole premise of 30 Rock is them doing SNL.
Yeah. So if anyone was going to show run this, I think Tina Fey is an absolute perfect choice. But we will only find out when Lauren drops dead. So.
I'm very disappointed that Chloe Trost was dropped from the roster this year. She was pretty and funny, and she got dropped. She even said, she's like, it wasn't my choice that I'm not coming back.
Yeah, like the disruption this season, like all the people that have either left or dropped, is kind of disconcerting. Because who else? Chloe Trost, but who was the bigger actor? The size wise, the one they tried to replace Addie Bryant with.
Oh, Molly Kearney.
Yeah, like she's no longer
first non-binary person on SNL, and they dropped them.
Yeah. I'm sorry for labeling them.
Yeah, she wasn't bad. Excuse me, they weren't bad. Honestly,
they everyone that they dropped, they never really gave them
a chance to shine.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, because they keep giving it to Sarah, and like every time, I'll never forget. Like Bowen, he got a huge standing ovation right during a skit.
Right.
It was like during the monologue, somebody's monologue, and then it cut to Sarah, and nobody clapped. She's like, "Oh, no applause for me." It's like, yeah, bitch, because
like even that Michael Shea, fucking Colin Jost comedy special, Sarah Silverman shows up, and it's like instantly it's like, ugh.
Oh, she's in there.
Like she's for a hot second, right? Like it's an onstage gag, but like I don't find her funny.
Particularly funny. Yeah, her jokes are rooted in either how shrill she is or body horror.
Right. And like, yes, it's weird and interesting sometimes, but in general, I don't think she should be getting the shine that she gets.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But yeah, Saturday night, really, I'm very excited to see this again. My mom wants to see it. I'm gonna take her. Uh, it's in limited release now. Like it opened in limited release today, and it's not gonna go wide till October 11th. So they're Sony's being very strategic about this, which I get. I totally get because movies like this are bricking left and right. Don't matter that they're good or they're gonna be crowd pleasers. It's just like if it ain't something dumb, people ain't going to go see it.
Right. So yeah, I get it. Word of mouth, people seeing it, talking about it, and making this thing something that you actually have to see.
Yeah, and plus I think also the reviews kind of scared them because the reviews from the first screening were positive, and then because this premiered at like Toronto, I think it premiered at Toronto. No, excuse me, Telluride. It premiered at Telluride, killed at Telluride, and then every festival it's played at since then, the reviews have been mixed, and some people are like they're just doing impressions. I'm like, bro, this is. To call what they're doing in this movie impressions is fucking very insulting, honestly.
Oh, some people just are gonna hate no matter what.
I don't know. Like, I'm not the biggest Jason Reitman fan, but I got to give it up to him. He did make a nice fucking comedy drama that also functions like a thriller because it moves so fast and there's so much at stake, and everything goes wrong in every scene of this fucking movie. I was like, these niggas do not catch a break until like the last moment of the movie.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So Saturday night, I liked it. Moving on, we got A Real Pain. We're gonna close out on the two Jewish movies. A Real Pain. It's very. It's a comedy drama, and the more I think about it, the more I like it, just because it resonates with you and it stays with you. Like I thought walking out yesterday, I'm like, it's good but slight, but then it creeps up on you, and you're just like, oh no, there's so much more in this movie. I also appreciate that it was less than an hour and a half. Like it's an hour and 29 minutes with credits. So by the time credits started rolling, it was like an hour 26.
I love that.
And it's the perfect length because any longer, I would have pulled my hair out.
I love that.
But it really is watching like... I love the title of the movie because it aptly describes the movie, A Real Pain, which is the theme of the movie. It's also Kieran Culkin's character. It's these two cousins played by Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, and just them dealing with the issues that they don't talk about while they're on this trip to visit their grandma's home. And it really is like them getting back in touch with each other, getting back in touch with their pain, get in touch with themselves as people. It really is. It's great. I see why Searchlight is showing this to us this quickly. And I also understand why they're holding it off till November, because they want the word of mouth on this motherfucker to build.
This Jesse Eisenberg directed this, right?
Wrote, produced, directed.
Okay, I'm glad to hear you say that this is good because I hated that fucking Sasquatch movie.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I
I
didn't see
got
it.
I got a half hour in and it's like I can't.
Yeah, because this premiered at Sundance, and then right after it premiered, Searchlight was like $30 million. This is ours before Netflix. Because all the movies that are beloved, Netflix buys, and people have been saying they're doing that shit on purpose, so they're trying to kill theaters.
Of course they are. Of fucking course. They killed home video and now they're trying to kill theaters.
Because the one movie I'm dying to see, which everybody's like, Brandon, make sure you don't miss, Amelia Perez. I'm seeing Tuesday.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, and fucking Zoe and fucking Selena are gonna be there. I'm gonna try to spit some game to Selena afterwards.
We'll talk about it in a second, but I'm really looking forward to that fucking movie.
Me too. I've heard nothing but great things, especially Monday. Monday, I have a double header where I'm just like, man, if these are as good as everybody's saying they are, I'm going to be over the moon. Uh, and then the one tomorrow, I'm really looking forward to as well, where I'm just like, if this delivers, man. So, yeah, a real pain. I don't want to say too much because you just want to go on the journey with these two characters and just go in and just go for the ride. Just give yourself over to this movie. And like I saw the TV glow, I just this this is what these two movies have in common for me. I initially, once they were finished, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I found them slight. And then they just crept up on me where I'm thinking about them. I'm like, no, there was more going on there. Where I saw the TV glow as a trans allegory and about how time can get away from you and who you really are. This is really about how how time gets away from you and how the people that matter most, you're going to have unresolved things. And then when you try to resolve them, there's just no easy answers.
You know what you just described art, right? How film should be,
Right, because
right?
I was because like I said, and what have you watched lately? I was initially dismissive of I saw the TV glow because I watched it and I was just like, oh fuck this, man. I was like, fuck that, especially that abrupt ending. I was like, fuck that. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh no, this is what Jane was trying to do with this movie. And I thought about it and I was like, nah, look, that movie is going to be like heaven sent for trans kids. Like they're gonna see that and be like, all right, it's time for me to make my transition, basically.
Yeah.
This movie is going to help a lot of Jewish people who are going through pain and trying to get in touch with their roots.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed that they give us the Jesse Eisenberg interview with Kieran because they put us on the list.
Okay. All right. Well,
So now that I've seen the movie, I got a lot to talk about in this interview.
all right. Well, let's put it out into the universe.
And then finally, the last movie. Now this is slight. This movie's been done for like 3 years. Whitebird. It's a prequel and sequel to Wonder. I've never seen Wonder. I had to Google how's it a prequel or sequel. The main kid, like the movie picks up and you see the kid from the first movie because he has a deformed face. That's why he wears the space helmet. You see the kid flipping and looking through pictures of Instagram of the kid from the first movie. And come to find out, that kid got expelled from the school in the first movie because he bullied that kid so badly that people hated him and he got expelled. And his grandma sits down and tells him the whole story about what happened to her, which was her surviving World War II and hiding out in this kid's attic. And this kid was nice to her because she's beautiful, but she was the only Jewish kid in her school. So she hid out with this kid, and this kid got picked on because he was handicapped and he had a knee brace on.
I remember seeing the trailer for this a million years ago. I think we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it a long time because this movie was supposed to come out in like 2021.
And like it was like from the Wonderverse or whatever like that.
Yeah. They gave us the book last night, and I'm like, I have no intentions of reading this book.
This movie's made for somebody.
It comes out next Friday. I really movie's fine. I want to talk about the reception in Lionsgate. The reception was at this high class French restaurant that was literally on the corner, like a few doors away from the DGA, called Rue 57. I'm in there, everybody's cliquey, so I was like, I don't care, I'll get drunk by myself, whatever. Eventually, some people come up, start talking to me. One of them, by the way, I don't mean this as a slur or anything. I'm just saying, lots of Jews there, and they're all wearing their yarmulkes. One dude comes up named Moses, and he just comes up to me and this dude and just goes, "Hey, do you guys know anyone famous here?" And I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. I was just like, no. And he's like, he turns to the dude who was standing next to me and he goes, "You look like an actor." And he goes to me, he's like, "You, I'm not too sure about, but you definitely look like an actor." And he's just like, "I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't act." And he's like, okay. And I was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, I run a site. I run a TikTok account with my wife. I'm Moses and Shauna. And Shauna, his wife, was just, you could tell, she's like, "I'm tired of this nigga. And like, I knew I was going to get pissed off when the first thing this motherfucker says is anyone here famous? Dana Carvey and Brad Corbett, or John Corbett, were at the bar chilling. Everybody was leaving them alone. Because, you know,
right. Like, they're just there.
Yeah, like I'm not there to, like, listen, there's certain, you know, the function I go to every year, I do starfuck there, right? But not egregiously.
Right.
This dude was starfucking so much. Like, those two clearly wanted to have a conversation and enjoy their drink. This motherfucker goes from us to them two by the bar and starts talking to Dana Carvey. And I hear the whole shit. And he just goes, yeah, I'm a big fan. You know, I love your comedy. He's like, "Yeah, thanks, man." You could tell him, like, yeah, I'll take a picture. Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then John Corbett goes, you know, I'm an actor too. And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I'm standing there like, is this motherfucker really like dismissing John Corbett?
Right. Like,
and he comes back over to me. He's like, "Hey, who's that tall motherfucker who's talking to Dana Carvey? Do you know who he is?" I was like, and I was looking at him like, "Dude, that's John Corbett." And he's like, "Who?" I'm like, "That's fucking John Corbett. Get out your phone instead of get off of TikTok and Google him for a second."
Like, even if you didn't know the dude's name, the dude's face is recognizable.
Yes. By the way, that motherfucker has, not only is he tall, but he has a big forehead and a big face. Like, he is a big dude. Just all around big dude.
Has he aged well?
He looks fine.
Yeah.
He looks fine, man. Like, he looks fine. Next walks in, like, Helen Mirren was in there, and he runs off to go talk to Helen Mirren.
Oh shit! Goddamn.
Guess who sneaks up in there next into the bar to start to have a conversation with John Corbett and Dana Carvey? Dustin Hoffman.
Oh,
and Dustin Hoffman goes up in there, starts talking to them, and this motherfucker comes back over to us. He's like, "Yo, that's Dustin Hoffman." I'm like, "Yeah, I can clearly see that's Dustin Hoffman." He's like, "I'm gonna go over there," and I'm just like,
can you give him a second? Can you give the man a fucking second? Like,
yeah, Moses and Sephora. I was trying to find their Instagram, found it, and I was just like, they kept telling me like, "Yeah, our Instagram's big, but like, follow us on TikTok because that's where our bread and butter comes from." This motherfucker snaked his way into professional pictures with him, Dustin Hoffman, John Corbett, and Dana Carvey. And it was so bad that eventually Dana and John grabbed their shit and scooted off and hid somewhere else in the restaurant. And then he started just bugging Dustin Hoffman, who clearly looked pissed the fuck off.
I missed a good one. Like the one time I decide I can't go to a party is the one where Dustin Hoffman shows up. But beyond that, like
here, I'll show you. I'm gonna send you their Instagram, and you'll see.
Yeah, just be fucking chill, because you know what? It ruins it for the rest of us.
Yes,
right.
And honestly, to the studios, please stop sending these influencers to these screenings, because this happened at Megalopolis, and this happened last night. Half these motherfuckers are texting throughout the movie on their phone.
Like, respect film, respect the movie, but also like,
because Francis Ford Coppola could see that shit. He watched the movie with us on that IMAX screen, because he's like, this is my first time here. This is a very big IMAX.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him walk up the stairs to his seat once the Q&A was done. And then Mark Forrester and the entire cast was there last night and sat in the audience and watched the movie with us, while the motherfucker in front of me was just texting, kept running in and out the whole time and texting. I'm like, just stay home. Like, stop inviting these influencers. Like, the dude in front of me from Megalopolis, as soon as the motherfucker started, didn't even give it a chance, was just texting the whole time. His wife was into it, and his wife wanted to stay, but he wanted to leave. It was a black dude. And his wife, who looks like she's one of the most ratchet people ever, was being respectful and watching the movie.
I mean,
and eventually he's like, I want to leave, and they both left.
Same thing happened at Transformers 1. And like, here's the thing with that. This dude was old enough to know better, right? But like, respect the process. Treat these people like real people, and like, wait for them to like relax, have a conversation, maybe come up. Hey, I'm a big fan. Yada yada yada. Can I get a picture? You choose one, right? You choose one person, right? And you respect the distance, and you ask, and you yeah.
My thing is too, how are you going to go up to people you don't know and just say, who here is famous?
Famous, right? I was like, isn't this supposed to be your job? Like right? This is what you do?
Also, all the girls there are strict reminders why I don't fuck with high class women in New York, because they are all snooty.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Rue 54. You know,
bro, they gave us fucking. I ate like 8 sliders because I was that drunk. Like, I had an old fashioned, and then I switched to champagne, and then the champagne eventually got too strong where I had to start drinking mimosas. And then because they had a couple of glasses of champagne they didn't want to pour out, you should have seen me struggling to not waste this champagne, just drinking it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna puke. And I got to the theater, and at the theater they're handing us bottles of water, and the girl's like, you want two? I was like, yes, thank you, please God. And she's like, look, yeah, we see where you're coming from. Like, we did that. We set y'all up to fail. Bro, no offense, the movie's not good. Like, but I also fell asleep because it's not good, but also because I was fucking wasted.
The same thing happened to us at a Haunting in Venice.
I didn't fall asleep during that. I just didn't remember anything.
Like, I definitely passed out for like 5 minutes.
Dog, let me tell you this. At this pre-show reception last night, they were giving us fries covered in caviar and truffles.
Oh, they were.
I was just like, this is how rich people live, huh? I was like, this is how rich people live. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm gonna sound like a douchebag saying this, but I need to be rich.
I missed a fucking good one. God damn it.
Yeah, nigga. Look on my for those of you listening, go to my Instagram page at bwood0824, and you could see the truffle and caviar covered fries in one of my posts. Also, you could see part of the Q&A from Megalopolis. But like, yeah, Lionsgate went all out with Megalopolis and now this week. And I'm like, where do y'all have the money to be throwing this shit? Also, I want to say, the rep for Lee, fuck you. Like, Lionsgate fired that guy. That dude was a fucking douchebag.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the rep for Lee. Fuck that guy.
So we're
Anyways,
going all in on Lionsgate this episode.
yeah, well, Lionsgate, not only they fuck, I mean, no offense. I mean this as no offense to Lionsgate, but none of these movies are going to make money this week. And their most high profile one is Megalopolis, and they're saying that motherfucker's only going to make $5 million this weekend. And you watch the movie, you're going to be like, well, I mean, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll get more into it in the next episode, but like I got a lot to say about why and how this came to be. And even me as a studio executive, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was just like, yo, that. Well, look, it's award season. I'm seeing shit super early. Like, y'all keep listening because very soon, not in the next episode, but maybe in the episode afterwards, you're going to be getting a review for Blitz, which I'm excited for, and the new Lord of the Rings.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah, nigga. I'm seeing Lord of the Rings real soon.
All right.
So that is episode 134.
We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, aka He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFire XL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.